Good evening, everyone. I welcome everyone today, this evening, for the Satsang with Ameeta Patel on Go Green for Better Tomorrow. So, here we shall start with our school prayer. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom. O hidden light, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May each who feels himself as one with thee know he is also one with every other. Thank you. And now this is the time for me to introduce our speaker. So I welcome you, ma'am. Uh, Let me just give a slight introduction about ma'am. Ameeta Patel, commerce graduate from Bombay University. She had an opportunity to explore different avenues from teaching, entrepreneurship, counseling, working in corporate world as a lean consultant with focus on 35 and cases. She is very interested in alternate healing and energy healing. She is a lifelong learner and currently her passion and focus is on our environment and creating an awareness and urgency of individual action and that in the interconnected world we live in. Every action, small or big, contributes to our reality. So I welcome you, ma'am. So here the platform is now yours. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay, I'll just share my slide. Okay. So, good evening. Happy to see all of you who have signed in this evening and hoping many more will join in a little later. So, since 1980s, the climate scientists have been talking about the urgent need for us to reduce our carbon emissions, as well as control our unbridled consumption and exploitation of the Earth's natural resources, which, according to them, will accelerate global warming and lead to extreme weather events, which will make life on Earth difficult and challenging. They keep cautioning us to change our lifestyles and reduce our carbon emissions, amongst other things, that will lead to rapid warming of our atmosphere. Needless to say, it was an inconvenient truth, and popular choice was to accept reassuring lies of climate deniers. Human ingenuity has led to exponential growth and progress in technology, and today we are reaping the fruits of an all. We are reaping fruits in all the convenience and comforts that progress offers us. And yet, we find our lives and lifestyles compromised and inconvenienced by the increasing frequency and intensity of changing and extreme climate events. We have all experienced the extreme and unusual heat this summer in Bangalore. Bangalore has never had such extreme heat. How intolerable it was. Well, brace yourselves. This is not a one-off event. I came across this video that was created around the early 2000s to draw attention to the fact that we are destroying life on Earth and dedicated to many who died fighting for the planet and those whose lives are on the line today. Let me share the video with you.
Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am. There is no sound.
This video was made in around 2010, but I think the creator of the video has been able to capture exactly what is happening today. And I think we've seen so many of these signs all around us. So then people say, so what? I mean, why should I care? All this is not my doing. What's the municipal corporation doing? I pay my taxes, and so on and so forth. Yes, in a way, it is the responsibility of the government to police and curb the pollution from the industries and also ensure proper disposal of waste and take care of our environment. Well, wake up. The reality is that the earth belongs to all of us humans, as well as the 87 lakh life forms that inhabit the earth. We live in an interconnected and interdependent world where all life forms, including us humans, are dependent on Mother Nature and her largesse. So we all need to care. So, what has Mother Nature given us? Human greed is defiling. She has given us our most basic needs: fresh air, clean drinking water, adequate nutritious food, and every single other thing we need for our comfort and progress. Even the fact that we are having this Zoom call and we are talking across great distances is all thanks to Mother Earth. So, human greed is defiling the earth, and human generated waste is piling up and choking vast tracts of land all around us. We are polluting the air with toxic gases, carbon dioxide, and methane from decomposing waste. Our lakes and rivers are clogged with garbage and toxic waste of industries. The plastic waste is also threatening marine life in vast oceans. All of this is hampering Mother Earth from regenerating and renewing herself. And increasingly, we will find it challenging to breathe fresh, clean air and find pure, life giving water to drink. And surely, growing enough food grains and vegetables to feed our exploding population will be difficult. So, to my mind, consumerism is really the biggest contributor to all the pollution. It is all man made. And I think there's something that we can do. Consumption, of course, is not a bad word. It is what sustains life. And of course, we should all avail of all the gifts of technology and lead good lives. It's the excess and unnecessary consumerism that the earth cannot sustain or support. And in fact, the definition for sustainable living is that we should have a lifestyle that aims to reduce an individual's or society's negative impact on our environment through conscious decisions about everyday lifestyles. So what do we need to do? To my mind, I think we need to reduce our ecological footprint. And it means that we are consuming more than the earth can regenerate. In fact, they say that we are currently consuming more resources than the earth can produce. So we are consuming 1.5 times we are consuming more resources in a year than the earth can regenerate. Yeah. And so there are so many things we can do it. We've been talking about it since long. We need to reduce the carbon footprint. And I think all of us are aware we're doing a lot of things, but these are on a larger scale. What is it that we can do on a personal individual scale? So I was talking, I feel that garbage and consumption and garbage is the big problem. And I'm going to talk only about these two things. So just for us to know that we consume a humongous amount of garbage, 188,000 metric tons per day and 68 million metric tons of garbage per year is generated in India. And cities generate more garbage than villages. The rich generate more garbage than the poor. And often, have you ever wondered what happens to the things that you discard? Where does it go? Well, there is no such thing as a way. When we throw anything away, it must go somewhere. And yes, it ends up in these the landfills which choke the earth. It ends up in the river bodies and it ends up in the lakes and the oceans. So what is it that we can do? Well, just for us to understand that each one of us is generating the garbage. And we found that 65% of the garbage from a household is wet waste, which is something it is so easy for us to compost at home. Of course, before that, we need to just sort out the different categories of waste at home, at source. Wet waste can be easily composted. In fact, I do the composting in my own home. I live in an apartment and it is possible to do it. And it composts between 5 to 30 days. And in 30 days, you'll have nice compost to feed your plants. I have plants in my balcony or the plants around the society is also possible. If we understand the decomposition rate, we know that dry waste has different time period for it to decompose. Like aluminum cans take 80 to 100 years, newspapers 2 to 5 months, plastics take almost 200 plus years, glass takes over 1 billion years. And Tetra Pak, this is probably the biggest crime. It has three things. It has paper, plastic, as well as aluminum foil. So none of the kabadiwalas want to take it. And it is sitting there. It will sit there for more than 500 years. Another waste that we should be wary of is the e-waste. E-waste creates a lot of uh, uh, problems when it ends up in the landfills because it contains so many hazardous waste chemicals like lead, arsenic, cadmium, chromium, mercury. It pollutes the groundwater and it leads to acidification of the soil, as well as it contributes to the poisonous gases that get released in the landfill due to decomposition. And please understand that it affects our health. It affects the DNA. It damages the DNA, leads to lung cancer and chronic damage to the brain and a lot of other things. So e-waste should not be discarded with other waste. There are e-waste centers in all the cities everywhere. And please collect it separately and you can discard it separately. Another big issue are the sanitary pad. Half our population is women, and we have a 30-year lifespan where people use these sanitary pads. It's not only the women, it's all the little babies who we put the diapers to, as well as the adult population that have to use diapers. Well, please understand that these sanitary pads and diapers are all plastic-based, and they have a lot of other chemicals and ingredients in it that makes it comfortable and convenient for us to use. But if we understand that this plastic component takes around 500 to 800 years to decompose. Please let us use alternatives like washable cloth sanitary pads or cloth diapers. There are menstrual cups, menstrual sponges, and menstrual discs also. If you Google, you can find all these. Yeah. So this is too huge a problem. And then you will feel that I'm just one individual out of these 144 crore people in India. How can my actions make a difference? What can I do? Well, I think it's the power of one. I think each one of us is responsible for what is happening, and each one of us can do something to make a difference. And the magic mantra that I found is refuse, reduce, reuse, repair, and recycle. I will talk about it as we go further. So, but most importantly, I think we need to care enough. We don't care enough about anything. Let's care about our environment. So go green. And by that, what do I mean? Be aware and mindful of my consumption. Reduce the waste I generate. Live responsibly and with conscience. So, power of one. What can I do to make a difference? Well, segregate waste at home. Start composting wet waste and use it in your kitchen garden. Repair what can be repaired and or give away to somebody who can use it. Carry on, carry bags. Say no to plastic. Buy local products. Be a conscious consumer. Water is the other problem that is going to create a situation for all of us. And we say, hello, there is enough water on Earth. 75% of the Earth's surface is covered by water. But please understand, only 2.5% of this water is fresh and usable and life supporting. And out of the fresh water that we take from the lakes and rivers and groundwater, 70% is used in agriculture, 22% is used for industrial processes, and 8% is pumped into the cities and homes for drinking and washing and everything. So what we really have is very little water. And today what is happening, as you saw in the video, the ice caps are melting, the rivers are polluted, the lakes are choked, and now the rain cycle is also changing. So even collecting that rainwater is not happening. So we need to really do something and see how we can save this water. And please understand, there are alternatives to oil and gas, like you have wind energy and solar energy, but there's no alternative to water. So let us look at what is your water footprint. Well, most of us say water footprint is the amount of water we use in and around our home, school, and office throughout the day. But there are two parts of the water footprint. There is a direct footprint, and there is something called the indirect or a virtual water. So the direct water is the water that we use directly from the tap for our day-to-day stuff. And it also includes water that was required to produce the food you eat, the products you buy, the energy you consume, and even the water that is used when you are recycling something. So an average Indian uses around 137 liters per day, but this is only our direct water footprint. What is our actual water footprint? We'll look at it. Well, there's a lot of water that goes into the food that we eat. And I think most of us are not aware of it. Let's understand that when you're taking a liter of water from the tap or from your aquaguard or water filter, it's only 1 liter of water you used. But if you're buying bottled water, the water footprint is 5 liters, because the 1 liter of water plus the water that went into manufacturing the bottle, to transport it, to freeze it. There's a lot of water everywhere. They say 1 cup of tea would have a water footprint of 30 liters. That's 150 ml of the water, but there is milk and sugar and tea leaves that go into it. If you're growing wheat, 1 kilo of wheat has a water footprint of 1,300 liters. A loaf of bread is 960 liters. One apple would be 70 liters. Maybe if you look at 1 dozen eggs, that's 2,400 liters of water. 1 kilo of chicken meat has water footprint of almost 4,000 liters of water. Pork or beef, pork has about 5,000 liters and beef has 15,000 liters of water. This is just for us to understand that there is so much water embedded in the process of growing and harvesting and processing and packaging and transporting it for us to eat, to buy it the way we do it. So also, as we can see, that vegetarian lifestyle can cut food-related greenhouse gas emissions by up to two-thirds. You can see that even your mobile has a water footprint. Almost 910 liters of water is the water footprint of producing and manufacturing a mobile. Our humble T-shirt uses almost has a water footprint of 2,500 liters of water. The jeans, denims, 8,000 liters of water. So think of the water footprint whenever you're tempted to buy something new and ask yourself, do I really need it? Can the earth afford it? So if you were to really look at it, this dark shaded blue is our direct drinking, a direct water footprint. But this actually is our actual water footprint because it also includes the water that is embedded in the food we eat, in the things we buy, in the things we consume, including things which don't seem to have water in them. And just for us to understand that the water footprint, it is the non-vegetarian diet that really consumes a lot more water. And a lot of agriculture, we saw that almost 60% of the water is used for agriculture. Well, almost 70% of the farmland is used up for growing pasture for livestock. So please understand that, I mean, I'm not against the non-vegetarian diet, but please let us be mindful of how much water goes into the food that we're using, particularly when we waste it. I think one of the biggest challenges today is not about having enough food for everyone. It is that we are wasting so much food we could have fed so many people. And another big problem is the plastic bottles. Please understand that we think that it's really cool and easy to drink water from a plastic bottle. But as I told you, each liter of plastic water, I mean, bottle has water footprint of 5 liters. Plus, it's not really very healthy. Uh, there are, I mean, in fact, what happens is bottles have some chemicals to neutralize it or balance the pH levels. Plus, when they're transported, the sun rays on it actually helps release many harmful chemicals in the water. So you're really not drinking pure and good water. Also, it takes 1,700 crore barrels of oil to produce the plastic bottles that we consume all over the world. But this would fuel so many cars in a year. So let's make better choices. And if you were to see, this is a scene everywhere. Plastic is probably the biggest polluter, the biggest man-made polluter on earth. It's choking everything. It's choking the landfills, it's choking the rivers, it's even harming the water, oceans. If you were to say, let's watch a video to see how even a remote island in the Pacific is affected by this.
Do we have the courage to face the realities of our time and allow ourselves to feel deeply enough that it transforms us and our future? Come with me on a journey through the eye of beauty. Across an ocean of grief. And beyond.
This is the story of the Midway Island, which is in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, more than 2,000 miles from land in any direction. And yet the plastic that we use and so carelessly throw out has reached these and affected these birds. And then the plastic actually comes back to us to haunt us. Let's watch this video too.
I can't hear anything on the videos.
Excuse me. On the manager, please. आप मैनेजर है? What the hell is this? मछली में प्लास्टिक ऐसा खाना सर्व करते हैं आप? I extremely apologize for that.
What are we supposed to do with your apology? We don't need your apology.
Take a full responsibility for that. किस बात की रिस्पांसिबिलिटी लेंगे सर? अगर ये मेरे पेट में या बच्चों के पेट में चले आता तो फिर क्या करते आप? कौन है शेफ? तुम शेफ हो? क्या ये? चेक नहीं करते आप खाना बनाते वक्त? I will sue you and make sure this place gets shut.
हम तो अपना गुस्सा आसानी से दिखा देते हैं, अपनी डिस्गस्ट आसानी से जाहिर कर देते हैं, लेकिन उन बेजुबान पशुओं और मछलियों का क्या है जो कुछ कह नहीं पाते, सिर्फ सह सकते हैं। हमारा फेंका हुआ प्लास्टिक तक पहुंचता है। क्या हमारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं है कि हम सिर्फ अपना ही नहीं, अपने परिवार का नहीं, पूरे एनवायरमेंट का ख्याल रखें? सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक इस्तेमाल करके डिस्पोज ऑफ करें रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी के साथ। हाथ जोड़ के
This single-use plastic is such a big problem. In fact, the recent reports say that they have found microplastics in the human blood, including in the fetus. We really need to use plastic responsibly and we need to look at where it is going. So please let us avoid the single-use plastic. Yes, plastic has many, many important role and usefulness in our lives, but what we can avoid, we should. Okay. Another thing that we really need to do is to plant more trees. Let's understand the value of a tree. The tree is the one that absorbs the carbon. It's a carbon sink. And it's also the one that gives so much oxygen back to us. And we have been just cutting down trees left, right, and center. It is so important to plant more trees. Please understand that a human being needs about 7 to 8 mature trees to support him and keep him in oxygen. Per person, we need 7 to 8 mature trees. But what is the ratio today? In India, we have 28 trees per person. there are, so it works out to 0.4 trees per person. There should be many more trees, but we don't have enough. So I think we need to plant trees wherever possible and nurture them and grow them. So I come back to the question that, can I be mindful and aware in all I do? Can I reduce the waste I generate? Can I stay aware of my water footprint and work on reducing it? Well, mindful consumption will lead me to realize that I'm taking far more than I need. I think all of us know that. Mindfulness will teach me to differentiate between my needs and desires as I keep asking myself questions. Can we ask such questions to ourselves? Do I really need to buy the extra water in my glass in the restaurant when I know I'm not going to drink it? Do I really need to buy gifts when I'm not sure that they will be used and needed by the receiver? Why not give fruits or dried fruits, which will surely be consumed? Can I keep some cloth bags with me when I go shopping? That way I can refuse a plastic bag or packaging material which the shopkeeper can reuse. At a restaurant, do I order many dishes because I like the variety and it's okay if I waste it because I can eat only so much? And besides, I paid for it. Please remember there is a water footprint in everything that is manufactured, made. And let's not waste things just because we can afford it and we don't need it. Do I need to buy things because they're on sale and it's such a bargain? Do I need to buy things online? It's so easy today to buy things online because there's a return policy. You don't like it, you can throw it, send it back. But do you realize how much packaging that is generated? Where does that packaging go? Do I keep buying bottled water whenever I feel thirsty? It's so convenient and hassle-free. It just costs $20. But do I realize that, why can I not carry a refillable bottle? Please remember that plastic does not biodegrade for years. In fact, 600 years or so, that means all the plastic that has been manufactured till date is still lying somewhere choking the land or water. Nowadays, it is so easy to buy things online and everything arrives at my doorstep. I have to make no effort and I can return if I do not like it. But stop to think what happens to the mountain of packaging that comes with it. And look at the water footprint that I have accumulated for myself. Well, how can I reduce my ecological footprint? Well, first of all, be aware, informed, and mindful of the waste I generate. Consume mindfully. Reduce my water footprint and carbon footprint. Protect forests, grow more trees. Be aware and stay informed of what is happening to my home, in my home. Talk about what I'm doing and spread the awareness. Elect people who are concerned about our environment. And also invest and patronize companies that are environment friendly. So now my question to you is, what are you willing to do to protect our environment? Why don't we start a revolution to be mindful and conscious of our environment? Show your care and concern for everyone's well-being. Go on a spend fast. Say no to consumerism. Buy only when and what you absolutely have to. Here's the challenge. I'm not broke, I'm not spending. But I'm not spending only, not because I'm broke. I'm not spending because I care. Why don't we do a 6-month fast? Don't shop, don't buy anything extra. Just the necessities. We have enough, more than enough that we have within in our homes. In fact, this is something that I have done and I've been doing it for a long time now. And I tell you, there are so many benefits to it. Well, one of the benefits are, well, you save money and avoid getting into debt. You spend less time looking after and caring for your possessions. You reduce your water footprint, which is so important. You reduce environmental impact as you use less natural resources. You send less garbage to the landfills, thus reduce your contribution to garbage creation. You learn to savor and appreciate what you have. You are freed of the pressure to impress with material possessions, you will feel more contentment. And you'll have greater satisfaction as you realize life is not just material. Well, I end with this talk with the power of one. Don't underestimate the power of one. If each one of us just makes these small little changes, it will add up to, it's the power of compounding. Imagine what would be the impact if all of us did just few things from what I have suggested. I mean, there are so many stories of what a single person has done, the revolutions. I mean, it's a revolution. A revolution starts with a single person. I urge you all to do something about this. I end with, only after the last tree has been cut, only after the last river has been poisoned, only after the last fish has been caught, only then we'll realize that money cannot be eaten. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ameeta. That was really good. And I'm glad to see you online. I think the last time you came was 1 year ago, isn't it?
Yes, yes. I'm feeling so disappointed that there are not many people who have tuned in, but I think we just have to keep talking about this. So thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thanks. We must
Right.
get more people because this was really wonderful, created so much of awareness. So I
Yes,
think
when,
everyone should make an effort to get more people.
When Swati told me I was ready to talk again, I said, doesn't matter. I think that we need to spread this awareness. People don't know about the water footprint, and really we are really messing up our environment. So anyway, thank you so much.
You've put in a lot of effort and it was really incredible.
Right. Thank you.
I told our Thursday group you were speaking. Today we had the class in the morning and I said Ameeta from our group is speaking, but I think they all caught up with other things.
Yeah, I think to be honest, Sajani, this time is not a very convenient one. Even I really hardly ever am able to catch up with any of those satsangs. I get the information, but 6:30 to 7:30 is something that most people, and that too on a Thursday. So I know last time we had more people, but it's okay.
There were more people
whenever
when
I
you
get
had the last
chance.
session, yes.
Yeah,
Anyway.
and it's more impactful when we can make it interactive, but there is nobody much to interact with. But it's okay.
No, Janaki Ram's there, Kashmira's there. They've asked quite a few questions now. Go ahead, Kashmira. Ask a couple of questions.
Yeah, I'm happy with
Yes,
the time and I'm
please.
very happy with the day because that suits me good. And as you know that I'm there as long as I'm in the country. I have really worked hard for the last 20, 25 years. I was given an award by the BMC in Mumbai.
Wow.
But COVID came and the segregation of waste. Our building is doing well. We segregated, but we are not composting anymore because people are finding that they don't want to invest in people to the labor and the composting material that goes in. So that's gone foots now. It's not working. I've tried to plant trees on the footpath. And that has been a losing war with me. So I've tried. I do believe in the power of one, but sometimes when you do not have the backing of the government and of your municipality, it is a very difficult and uphill task. We segregate our waste. In fact, I have an organization that comes and picks up all the dry waste, which they then further segregate and sell. We have a box that people put their old clothes, so that goes to another organization. So we do all that, but eventually even the little bit of plastic that goes into the garbage trucks, if the BMC, which has a fine, if they would put a fine on, people won't do it, but people are so careless, they do it. You know, I'm the only fool who goes to the market and says, "Mujhe plastic mat dijiye, mere bag mein hai." And the man has already put it in a plastic bag, which I have to undo and, So if
Kashmira, I totally agree with what you say, and all of us feel so helpless. But well, the government will do what it can do. But what is it that I can do at the individual level? And I definitely think we need to say no to consumerism. Even that will help, because
so we are
if-
doing it. We are recycling the clothes. You know, not even the ones that you cannot really. So the fabric is then used.
Yeah.
Like right now, there's an urge to give your old bed sheets and pillow covers to the dog foundation, to the animal foundation, so that they can use it for the animals. So we do all that, but I think if the BMC and at least the BMC is what it's called in Mumbai, if the BMC were a little stronger and said no plastic, there is a fine of 500 rupees, but nobody, the police just walk past and nobody does anything. Then I can be screaming blue, you know. I buy stainless steel cups and give it to the watchman and say, "Chai ye plastic mein mat piyo, ye the paper cups are not really paper cups.
Yes.
The inside of it is plastic. You're taking that in."
Yeah.
I mean, I'm tired. I'm so tired, you know. But I'm still the warrior, but I'm just saying that, yes, one person is important, but you need the backing of the government. You need the government to come and say, the people who pick up the trash cannot be mixing your trash. I get people to put the sanitary pads, the diapers in a separate thing, the medical waste in a separate thing, the batteries in a separate thing. And then when the truck comes, it's all mixed up. What do you do then? What do you do? You know, it's hard.
I think we also need to hold our elected representatives more accountable. Maybe we all need to speak up and demand that these things are being done. I think, I mean, it's a little effort, but we can do it. Meanwhile, I mean, even buying unnecessarily, we keep on buying things which is not necessary. I feel that at least if you become conscious of the water footprint in everything.
I don't flush the toilets all the time. I don't, when I'm taking a bath,
I appreciate. No, thank you, Kashmira ji.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're all doing, but I just thought that maybe let's talk about the water footprint. Let's talk to other people that how much more is at stake. It's not just what we are buying and selling. It's so much, and water is going to become such a huge issue. Already we are seeing the effects of a water shortage. And with the climate change and all that, it's going to just accelerate and increase the problem. So maybe the little things we can do, I think let's spread that awareness of at least not buying things unnecessarily and discarding buying more responsibly and discarding more responsibly. In fact, I've stopped buying things now, no clothes. I have enough that are going. It's okay. It's okay for me to be seen in the same clothes again. We worry so much about being, fashionably dressed or up to the latest. I think those are the things also we can stop. That will also make a difference. And that was the point of my talk anyway. So thank you.
Thank you. That was really nice.
It was a absolutely brilliant talk.
Yes.
And it was wonderful to hear all the facts about it. And I do appreciate all the research work that's gone into it. But from an individual point of view, when you're a soul warrior, it's tough.
But Kashmira, you must remember that one lady who planted so many trees that was awarded, given the award.
And there's been one Gandhi who got us independence, yes. But
exactly.
I'm not a Gandhi.
The power of one does work.
It is the power of one only that will work. Each one of us has to do what we can do in our small ways, but we have to start. And then we have to talk about it. I think that's the only way to go about it. So,
and Ameeta, you're all prepared. You can go around giving talks at Rotaries and other places.
I've been talking about this, Sajani, since the last so many years in all the forums. Wherever I get a chance, I do it. And in fact, when it is, this was a little difficult because it's not interactive. I can't see the audience, but I think it's more impactful when it is done live and in person. But so I'm ready to talk wherever I get a chance. Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway,
You
thank
must
you
come
to.
back. You must come back to our Thursday talks and talk there
I'd love
in the morning. So I'll tell the
call
group.
me, Sajani.
I'll call you and we
Yeah.
can talk. And all our classes now are online. So you must talk to this group. It's
I'd love to rejoin the group. I've been missing the study group. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, I have to thank my friend Goldie, who has joined in. Thank you so much, Goldie, for listening to me. Whoever comes in, I feel good. Thank you so much. Okay,
Right.
bye-bye.
For sharing.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Where's Ramesh? He's not there.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay.